my. At least it's not sticking.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. Well, that was yesterday, and today it's not much warmer, but it's not snowing. So the deal is that we have some temperature increase coming, but only for a few days. So at least the sun's trying to come out and it's trying to warm up. And I know you guys probably get tired of hearing this, but this has been a pretty long winter. It just keeps on dragging on. Our high temperatures are supposed to be at this time of year 57 degrees. We should be at 57 degrees on average every day. You know, it's pretty bad. I mean, when we get to 40, 43 degrees, we're excited because it's staying warm for us. But we do have about 3 days here that we're going to get warm. And guess what? Friday, Saturday, we're supposed to have back-to-back 75-degree days. So you can get an idea of, I mean, we just had snow the other day, and it was 30 was the high. 30 was the high. That's crazy. That's just, I mean, come on, 27 degrees below average. So I got the furnace running in the RV with the nice weather that's finally getting at least a little bit in the forecast. I'm going to get in there and see what it's going to take to maybe start taking some stuff apart. So this is the cabinet that we want to remove. And I'm finding out that it's definitely part of the structure helping support this corner. So I'm going to have to do something about that with whatever I build, because this piece out front goes all the way to the corner. And if I hadn't mentioned before, or if you guys didn't hear, if I did mention before, that's why they put cabinets across the front of the RVs and in the corner of RVs. They're for strength. They help the wall. They help support the wall where they join at corners. And this piece, believe it or not, is definitely helping the structure. So whatever I remove here, I can't just have an open corner. I have to build something that ties this part that's running across from the other corner, of course, into this corner. I don't know yet. But look at all this crap that I took out. Yeah, look at all this junk. This box is filled with everything that was in that cabinet. I've got stuff in there from museum putty, Velcro, flashlights, lanterns, flares, fire extinguishers, all kinds of stuff. So we're gonna have to go through and find what we need and what we don't need. And I'm thinking there's a lot we don't need. All these cabinets up above in this area, they're all loaded with all kinds of junk that, I mean, look at that. How organized is that? Don't get me wrong, here's some things that we actually need, seals and stuff like that, but DVD movies, we don't even have a DVD player out here anymore. This, of course, goes to the ceiling part here if stuff falls out. The flags back there, some hats. Yeah, it's funny. I mean, it's... Oh, yeah. Here's when we stayed at Coral Sands. It was our lease agreement, or whatever you want to call it, the rental agreement. Oh, man. I got to figure out how I want to address this cabinet. I know it's going to be difficult. I have a feeling that I'm going to be hammering and beating out a lot of the wood that is attached to the floor in that, because they build these things in such a way that a lot of the screws in that holds it to the walls actually come in from like the outside underneath the siding. So you can't really get to them to loosen them. Now this top, from what I can tell, that is held down with screws, but only to the cabinet. I don't know about over here. They're probably held through the front wall. I don't like addressing this corner because I know it's fastened in so well, and there's just no way to get to the fasteners. But let me dive into it and see what I run into. Here we are inside the cabinet. You can see what it looks like. And luckily, some of these screws, when they put them in from the factory, missed the shelf, which is good. And then I loosened the braces that go into the bottom of the shelf. But I know that there's still a lot of screws like that came in from the outside that I'm going to have to address at some point. There we go. So that's what the corner looks like, and this cabinet that I've been complaining about forever is finally out. Again, here's the screws that were coming in from the outside, and I'm gonna have to cut all these off, and I'll have to put some sort of wood. Maybe I'll just pull this trim piece off here and put a bigger piece of trim all the way across the front that hides the entire, you know, disaster here. But you can see here's where the seams match from the wall to the top. So now down below here, there's nothing. It's just all stapled and screwed. So this is where I'm going to have issue. As far as this part down here, hopefully I've got some screws that I can remove. If not, again, I'm going to be doing a lot of prying and hammering. I did bring my little sledge in just for that reason. As you can tell, it's MC hammer time. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I'm not very much amused here. Yeah, this corner piece is going to be a handful. And I definitely think that it's built the way that it is for structure reasons. So I'm going to definitely need to reinforce this whole corner with whatever I build. Yeah, now I'm in the process of disconnecting it from the wall, and it does not want to come out. I think they've put screws all the way down through it. Good news is the cabinet's out. Bad news is I got to do more work. The plywood here, I pulled it apart. Whenever I was pulling it, the screws out, you could see some of the screws came through. And I mean, we're going to redo it anyways, and it's going to be covered, so hopefully there's not too much going on there. Now, as far as putting screws back in, you might be thinking, well, how are you going to get them from the outside and secure whatever it is that you have? Well, I'm not. I know that there's studs here because of these staples, so I just have to utilize at least this stud, and then the corner here, and then this here. There's a stud here on this wall, and I got to make sure I don't go too far, you know, in too far. But I think I'm going to be taking more of this out the more I think about it and look at it. Possibly. Maybe not. I kind of like this shelf, so maybe I'll just make the bench, you know, have an area that goes in instead of straight across. Again, I don't know 100% how I'm going to do it. But you can see, or maybe you can't, like the screws to secure this cabinet, you see the angle that that's at? I did not bend that. That obviously was the way they screwed it together from the factory, and there's no physical way that that screw could have been put in the distance that it is with this wall intact. So a lot of this cabinetry and stuff is put in prior to the walls going up, and then the walls secure against the cabinets or the whatever's in here. The more I get into this, the more I start thinking about how this reminds me of our pop-up trailer that we had. And that pop-up, that, I don't know if you guys seen that project. That was a project. I had to pull out all the cabinets and the shower, the hot water tank, the electrical, everything, and replace and put a complete new floor in. Well, the very first thing I checked when we got this RV was how good the floor is. And the floor is solid in here. The floor is very solid. So I knew I didn't have to do that. And then I checked the walls, and the walls are good. So I need to cut this carpet away, and I need to pull up the rest of this trim piece. And boy, this trim piece is a pain in the butt because there's staples every so many inches, if even that, maybe 2 staples to an inch for this trim piece. Thanks to that, I'm glad I still have it from when we did the roof. All those screws just zipped right out. I just cut them off. Man, this thing is stapled 6,000 times. This Terminator strip, or whatever you want to call it, transition strip. You know, now that I think about it, maybe all these RVs have a standard linoleum flooring that's put in underneath everything, and maybe it's like a closeout or a blim or something like that then gets covered up by the real carpet and the real covering that's supposed to go through the rest of the RV. I mean, that makes sense. If you guys know, let me know, because I'm just guessing here. Because this linoleum that we've been walking on all this time looks so original, and we found some other RVs that had that same kind of linoleum. So maybe that's what they do. And I'm not against that because that's just extra layering. I mean, think about it. You have your linoleum that covers the entire floor of this trailer. So it's underneath the cabinets, and it's underneath the couch here, and it's underneath where the furnace is, and I mean everywhere. It's just everywhere. And then they start putting down all the cabinets. And from that point, they can add the linoleum and the carpet as they see fit. The stuff that they want the customer to see. So I got a mess here. I think I'm going to go try to grab the shop vac, which is buried in the garage, and come out here and clean this up so I can get a better view. But yeah, I kind of like the way this is looking so far. So we got it swept up so we got a better idea of what it looks like clean. I definitely have to find the dimensions on the table that we want to put in here, because that's going to really determine the placement of the bench, how big the seat is should be standard. The height should be standard. I mean, I could get those dimensions off of the couch and factor in how thick the cushion's going to be. Of course, how thick the cushion's going to be for the back, the angle in which it needs to be made. But I really need the dinette table because I'm not making a table. I just don't know right now, but I do know that I need to find a dinette table. Now, the good news is right about now, there's a couple of salvage yards. One that's north of us here, quite a bit, and one that's south of us, even much, much further, down near Columbus, I believe. And they have all kinds of used dinettes and, of course, dinette tables, you know, complete, or just the tables. I might buy something like that. If I can incorporate something already built into this area, then of course I'll do that. I mean, that makes perfect sense. So I'm kind of stuck here a little bit. Have to do some more research, but yeah, I'm glad that we got that out. I mean, it already feels more spacious just because of all that whole corner being opened up. I mean, I always thought that it would. Yeah, I like it. What I really wish I could do is this would be very, very adventurous on our part. I thought about taking and securing the water tank that we currently have underneath the RV. It can be done, and I could do it. We could open all this up, and it would change everything. I mean, we could. Heidi and I talked about it. You know, I could put a desk in here, an actual physical desk for the computer, and then have a recliner in here, or a couple of recliners. I mean, it would be tight, but we could do it for sure. But that water tank's holding us up, definitely. I mean, the fact that the water tank's underneath this couch, and the water pump, and of course a lot of the plumbing for those things, yeah, that unfortunately holds us up on that.
Won't you join me on the lovely floor?
You know, other than needing to buy a bigger piano hinge, which is on this end of the table, I'm going to try to show it to you here. And a piano hinge is just nothing more than a hinge that goes the full length of, in this case, the table. Some of them don't even need to go to the full length of the table. I would like that, though, on this one. But all these pieces are just screwed into the table. All this hardware, or these latches, and these these alignment pieces to help with the alignment. I am thinking that there is really no reason that we could not make our own table. I mean, I said that out loud earlier, saying I'm not going to make my own table, but I started looking at them, and a lot of people are just selling, you know, they're nice, like ash wood tables, that kind of stuff. But I think that I could get some nice countertop that is made of good wood, something that's hardwood, and I could actually make, you know, there's no reason I couldn't just make this table bigger, you know, replace the wood with bigger wood. take these sliding mechanisms and move them out a little bit further from each other because, of course, the table's going to be bigger at that point, so they need supported a little bit further apart. And then reinsert all these latches and everything right back the way they are. And then this leg can more than support, a bigger table. But maybe I need to buy another one of these legs, another drop-down leg. That wouldn't be such a big deal. The only thing that I'd have to buy is an additional leg or 2 legs that matched, and the wood itself for the table, and then more of a piano hinge. That's a thought. Might be doing that.
So today I'm going to start cleaning up the bathroom, and I think that's pretty much where I'm going to start to paint. It's going to be a process, of course. Ouch. So this is the before. Get these cabinets to paint. And there won't be much painting up here. Actually, could probably get away with not painting it since you can't see it. But we do have to do these cabinets here and the walls. Maybe the door. We'll see.
So Hetty's in the bathroom cleaning, and I'm on the other side of the door. She needs the door open. She's wiping down all the walls and everything. Again, we're going to start in the bathroom. Now, we would have water out in the RV, but we have some temperature issues in Ohio here. So we're running the furnace inside here just to take the chill off and make it a little bit warmer to help whatever water she's putting inside the bathroom evaporate a little bit easier. And I would have water out here in the RV for her to use, but we've got just the craziest weather. We have temperatures that are going to be in the mid to upper 70s after today. So today's Thursday. We're going to be in the 60s today, the low 60s, barely into 60. And then we're going to have a warm Friday, a warm Saturday, and even Sunday is going to be in the 60s still. So we have some good temperatures that we're going to be able to work with. Monday's just going to start the drop. The temperature's going to keep on dropping, and the wind's going to pick up. And we've got rain, snow in the forecast. We don't know how much snow, just we know for sure rain. And that's going to continue all the way until Tuesday. So within just a couple of days, we're going to be going from highs in the upper 70s and sunshine to temperatures that are going to generate wind chills in the teens on Tuesday. So Tuesday morning, we're going to be 19 degrees with the wind chill. Even without the wind chill, it's still going to be 30 degrees. And I can't have 30 degree temperatures for sustained period of time like Monday and Tuesday is showing with water, in these valves and in the traps. Even if I kept the RV warm inside here, I don't know what it would do to the valves underneath. After that, what do you think, Hyde, after that? Probably be okay?
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're thinking hopefully.
I'll take this door off so we can repair it.
I've got to do repairs? What?
Yeah, I gotta repair the bottom of that door a little bit better.
The door's got to come off.
I know, that's what I said. Do you want to take the door off?
Oh. We're not going to be painting today, are we?
I'm gonna paint this little door today.
Which little door?
This drawer.
The drawer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
In the house.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, see what it looks like.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do here, I've been thinking about it more, is I'm going to put a piece of wood probably right here that caps that off. Might have to cut across here and down if we do something with this table to fold up. And I know some of you guys might be asking, well, why would you want a table that's folding up? just in case when we sell the RV and somebody wants to sleep on this couch, you know, that way they can fold the table out of the way and do so.
I think we should have painted last year.
Yeah, we definitely should have painted last year.
The weather was definitely more on our side.
So the other reason is if I have to do any kind of work on the water pump, I need this table out of my way so I can pull the couch out of the way. Because the couch, there's just a couple of screws that it secures on the floor with, or actually on the frame, and then it just slides out. It comes out of the way real easy, but the table has to be out of the way. I can't do it without having that table out of the way. So we're going to make sure that the table is still a folding table, I guess, and we're going to try to find ourselves something similar to this, but just bigger, bigger. And of course I'll have to accommodate where it will fold into. Again, that's just support with wood, but I'm going to end up framing in this section here, just basically make a square and put paneling on it, and maybe then take a board and maybe with sort of a back to it, get rid of this trim piece and just make it one constant shelf. That's the plan right now. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Well, YouTube, today was a beautiful day in Ohio, and I hardly ever say that, but it was really nice. We're at the tail end of the day. I didn't get much done today on the RV at all. I helped out my son a little bit. We still haven't done any kind of a build whatsoever on this. We're just keeping it up, and he's just working his butt off. Yeah, today was just beautiful. Light breeze now. 78 degrees. Hell, the grass is actually growing. Raised garden that we had back here is gone. I've been trying to straighten up a little bit, and we burned all of it in one day in this pit. There are so many nails in there, and I have to get that cleaned up because we do have rain that's going to be coming in a couple days here. So I had to help him out with his van a little bit. There was some cleaning that he was doing, and there was a repair that he wanted to do. I love these things. I wish they still made them. Isn't this cool? So you can keep the windows open and have you know, breeze come in without the bugs. I checked with the company, and they're in Cleveland. They don't exist as far as that's concerned anymore. But he had a problem in the back of his van. Basically, the drains were blocked. These are the drain covers, so he had some water coming inside of his van. He also needed this tightened. It came loose just from him using it. He loves to use it, so you can see what's going on underneath his van here. That's what it looks like. The guy before put in all this insulation, and then that insulation, and then padded insulation, and then carpet. And of course the walls, they're very insulated. I've showed that in the build that we're doing. Hey, he's trying to take my purple power. How dare he? That's mine. So I told him to leave his vent up. We installed that on the build, which we'll go over that. But it's a beautiful day out. I just wanted to close out so far the video that we've got going, because we're probably not going to be able to do much for work here in the next few days. Heidi did paint the bathroom drawer, I should say, the drawer, just the one drawer, because she wanted to test adhesion to see what happens when it got a little bit humid, and the color too. And she likes the color. She thinks she's going to go just one color in the RV as far as the bathroom cabinets, and then the walls will be white. She's got a plan. We're getting there, but it is just awesome today. It is just awesome. Today's high of 78 degrees. The last time we had a high of 78 degrees was in October. So, and it was just a freaky day in October that we had that 78. We are expecting to go back into a cold snap, and then a colder than average pattern until May, and maybe even in May too. There's a possibility for that, but it's not going to be horrible. We'll be in the 50s every day. I can work in that. Of course, I prefer 70s and 80s, 80s and 90s would be better, but I don't expect to get that anytime soon. But we did get it today. Heidi's working 11 hours today, so she's not going to be able to, unfortunately, be in this video other than what she already did. And it's funny, I gave her the camera and asked her to shoot that video going into the bathroom and doing the work in the bathroom. Wasn't that funny, guys? I told her, I said, hey, don't be jerking that camera around. I said, you got to kind of treat it like your own head. You need to move it a little slow. I mean, I'm guilty of moving it really fast, but she was laughing. She thought it was really funny. As far as this update, and you know the deal. We hope to see you out there. Bye.